Welcome to our live
I
show.
love that so much.
I got a kazoo. It's really fancy, and I just wanted to show it off to flex on all of you. It's gold.
Yeah, weird flex. Okay.
So, hello everybody, and welcome to Bookmarked Chapter 22. I am here today with
Hailey from Hailey and Bookland.
Hannah. Could not be here today because she is sick, but our hearts are out to her. But today we're going to talk all about bookish pet peeves. So all the things that make us a little annoyed. Some people get really passionate about these, but a lot of these I'm just like, some of them I am passionate though. So we have many variations today. So first we're going to talk about what we're currently reading. What are you currently reading, Hailey?
I am currently reading Field Notes on Love by Jennifer E. Smith. I keep on forgetting the title of it, but I got it.
And I'm currently reading The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern. So I'm really liking it. Are you liking your book?
I kind of have mixed feelings on it. Like, I knew it was going to be an insta-love situation, but I feel like in order for insta-love to work, I need there to be like more of a palpable connection, and I don't think I really have that yet. It's also like supposed to be a travel book, but like one of my pet peeves with, I mean, I'm already getting
there you go.
One of my pet peeves with travel books is when you don't actually get to like see the places that they're traveling to. It's all about them just traveling, if that makes sense. So I feel like I haven't gotten to explore the locations that they're going to, and that's disappointing. But it's like, I think it's at a 3 out of 5 stars right now. It's not bad.
Yeah.
It's not great.
But yeah, you want to see it, obviously.
Yeah.
So let us know what you are currently reading. I love seeing it and like getting recommendations from all of you guys. Yes. Just one more time.
No. Oh my gosh. I hate it so much.
Okay. So let us talk about the first thing that I want to talk about is, our physical book pet peeves. And then we'll go on to writing pet peeves. So things that just a physical book, what will put us off from buying that edition, or will you, just
like things you hate happening to books that you own.
Yeah.
Things like that.
Do you have any?
I don't know. I'm not like, we were talking about this a little bit before the live, but like I used to be kind of, I feel like it's almost like elitist about my books and be like, don't touch them, don't like do anything to them. But it doesn't so much bug me anymore, like dog earring and things like that. I don't personally do them, but it doesn't bug me as much anymore because I love when a book has been read a bunch of times and you can like tell that it's been read a bunch of times and you can see that it's been loved. So I love those things. I think in like publication, I hate when books have deckled edges, which we talked about before. So
Yes.
I don't like
they're so difficult to read.
Yeah.
And like they look like it's an accident. Like something happened at the paper mill and they're just like, I guess we'll just glue it together and send it on its way. Like it's a defect, but whatever.
I'm curious how they discovered deckled edges.
I think they're supposed to look like old books, like back in the day before they had all this machinery when they were handmade. I think they're supposed to look more like fancier because they're worse made.
Yeah.
That's what it seems like.
I was like, fancy.
Oh, we have some controversy in the comments. Some people are saying they love it. Other people are saying this is a very divisive issue, but I dislike it very much. So something you were saying is that some people have some pet peeves that we don't have ourselves. So, like you said, with having a book being well loved, that, oh my gosh, your cat. Yeah. Hi, Sadie, how are you doing?
No, I'm at my sister's right now in California, in case you were wondering where I was. This is my sister's cat, Sadie.
She's
doing, I don't know what.
Just living her life.
If you see her just going, just disregard.
Oh my gosh. But I also very much agree with books being well loved. We got a lot of comments on Twitter, a lot of replies with people saying that they hate when they loan a book to somebody and they have like dog-eared it, or they've made it a little bit more well loved. But I actually love loaning out my books, and I had somebody who did write their thoughts of the book in my book and gave it back to me. And at first I was shocked and appalled, and I'm like, I'm going to unfriend you on Facebook, because this is back in the day when Facebook was still relevant.
Yeah.
But then I read their notes and I was like, oh, this is kind of nice. Like, if I read it again, I can see what you think about it. And it's like having a friend with you when you're reading it. So I'm perfectly fine. The only thing that I wouldn't like a friend to do if I loaned a book was like stain it. Like, I had a friend who was eating pasta and they got red sauce all over it, and that I'm just like, okay, maybe be a little bit more careful. But if they accidentally like kind of break the spine a little bit, like, it was bound to happen sooner or later. Whatever. If they dog-ear a book, you just flatten it and then it's not that bad. So I guess I've gotten more chill with time.
Yeah. I think one of my pet peeves is when you lend, and I think anyone has this pet peeve, but when you lend it out and it takes you forever to get it back, or you don't get it back at all. Like, not so much someone writing in it. I think if they ask for permission first, then it's fine, because like sometimes I have editions that are like really special to me. And if I, for whatever reason, decided to lend it out and I got it back and they had like written in it, I'd be like, no, I would be really upset about it. But I think not getting a book back is so much worse. Or just like, because I'm so conscious of that spot on my shelf where that book is missing. It drives me nuts.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. If it's a special edition of a book, or if it's like a book that's a really high quality, like it has those glossy pages, and if it's one of the memoirs or something with like pictures of the celebrity in it or something like that, if you write on those pages, that's a little bit a step too far. But just like an average book where they write their thoughts, whatever. You know, something that I noticed yesterday when Lala from Books and Lala tweeted out, she tweeted out 4 different book covers that all have the same exact stock photo snake. The same one. It was Ninth House, and it was, what was the next Cruel Prince one?
Oh, Queen of something. Queen something.
Of nothing?
That's what I want to say.
Yeah.
Right.
And then the other ones.
There was a new
the Red Rising.
Yeah.
Pierce.
Brown.
I can't think of. I thought Pierce Brosnan. I'm like, he did not write that.
I know. I was also thinking of that.
But they're the exact same snake.
Yeah.
Did nobody?
This is literally the perfect time for me to embrace my Slytherin soul. I'm just like, yes.
Did nobody consult with anybody else
before
they made these book covers? They're probably different publishing houses, but still.
It's so funny. It's just
make it like a group chat or something where you just are like, hey, guess what?
Hey guys, we've got the snake, so leave it alone. Thanks.
That's just, it's wild to me. People spend so much time making book covers and then they all look the same at the end of the day.
Yes. Oh my God.
When you were saying right before we started the live show that doesn't really bother you are movie editions of book covers. And I actually wrote down in my notes of like my different things that annoyed me, I wrote down movie covers, but then you said that usually they don't really interfere with the regular covers. Yeah.
So movie covers, I don't like movie covers. I would not buy a movie cover 9 times out of 10, but I don't mind them because they never replace the original cover. You always have the original cover available to you to purchase. So it's just like, if you choose to buy the movie cover, then cool. So I understand if like there's a price difference or something like that, but most times, 9 times out of 10 in my experience, there isn't. So it doesn't bug me because it doesn't really affect you unless you actually buy the movie cover. So that's something that like people get really heated about.
Yeah. And everybody in the comments right now, they're like, I know. I really liked, do you remember the City of Bones one? That one was actually really nice looking.
We still sell that one at my store. We still have a copy of it.
You still have it?
Yeah, we've had it forever. I don't know if anyone has ever purchased it or they just keep sending it back to us. But we still have it. Yeah.
But I definitely agree, though. Sometimes they do get people into reading as well. Like,
exactly. It's introducing like a new audience to the story, because the reason they do movie covers is because people will recognize like the movie poster and they'll be like, oh, like I saw that movie, maybe I should read the book too. So it's marketing tactic.
Average Joe Reed says that the To All the Boys I Loved Before cover looks really similar to the original. And I think I remember which one you're talking about. Yeah, I like how they echo it. Like the Hate You Give one too.
Yes, the Hate You Give one is a great one. Yeah. I'm curious, I haven't seen it yet, but what the Sun Is Also a Star one is going to look like.
I don't know how they could make it look similar to what it is now.
Think they can.
I hope it has a similar like color. Like it will be like oranges and purples.
Yeah, oranges. Yeah.
Like that. Maybe they'll be in front of this and this will be the background, because I really like this. I think it's really pretty.
Yeah. So. I doubt they'll do it with that. Oh, someone said Love Simon too. Love Simon was a great one because that one looks just like it.
Yeah.
But
so I think people are like, in general, I think the quality of books are getting much better with time because they're becoming more popular. More people are reading. And especially with like audiobooks, they're putting much more work into audiobooks. And just in general, people are trying. Oh my gosh.
What are you doing?
It's her moment to shine. Give her time.
Does not care. Oh, goodness. This is why I close my door when I'm at home.
So in general, I think that everything's getting better. So nothing really bothers me too much these days, but maybe we can talk about some things that do bother me. Mass market paperbacks.
I will never.
I mean, I've bought a few cozy mysteries because I think most of those only come as mass market paperbacks, but in general, nah.
See, and like I've been getting into adult romance recently, but like I refuse to buy ones that come out in mass market paperback. I hate it. I just hate it so much. I hate the feel of the paper. I think that the covers on them are always so ugly. It's a no from me.
Another pet peeve that I don't have is when there's mismatched covers. And I know you're more of like a collector than I am. So I feel like you care more about matching covers than I do.
I do in a sense. What I totally understand is I think the reason that I don't care that much is because they're never together on my shelf 9 times out of 10.
Oh, yeah.
Since it's organized by the color, it's fine. Like I never see them together, so it doesn't really bug me that much. I think I more so hate it if they take a step back. If you like make a cover that's an improvement on the original cover, then that's awesome and amazing. And I love it because I love a good cover. But if you're taking a step back, like with the Diviner series, I hate that.
Yeah, that's the only one I have, the only example of it becoming worse. But
yeah,
whatever. At the end of the day, the story is almost the
funny
same
now.
Yeah.
Like, the next book, like, is it going to have a new cover? It almost has to.
I hope it does.
I hope it's just like not
Microsoft Paint.
Yeah, honestly, I'll do it.
Just kidding. That'll be a step up, obviously.
Yeah. Truly.
But if you look at my shelves, everything is just not matched at all. So we have like some paperbacks, some hardcovers. Like I never have a series that's all in hardcover or all in paperback, really. Yeah. And whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever.
But now, a personal thing.
Yeah, no, it's definitely like I understand why people are upset, or they go out of their way to try to make it match.
Yeah.
But now let's talk about some writing pet peeves we have. And people, let us know in the chat which ones you also have or any other writing pet peeves you have. So would you like to go first with things in books that maybe it'll be an automatic deal breaker? Like you will not want to finish the book if you realize this is in there.
I feel like there's like very few things that will make me put down a book. But I think some things that I can think of that like really annoy me, and this is partially because of what I've been reading recently. I am literally stuck in a cloud of cat hair right now. You can't see it at all, but because she's sitting on my lap and I was petting her, it's just everywhere. But because I've been reading romances recently, a lot of the drama from romances is derived from like miscommunication, and not even miscommunication, but a lack of communication. I was telling Zoe about a scene in particular that I'm not going to repeat here.
From the Kiss Quotient, in case you're wondering.
Yeah, it's from the Kiss Quotient, where like there was a conversation that definitely had to be had, and she's like crying, and then instead of actually talking, other things that are not productive end up happening. So that like lack of communication for drama, I don't know why I keep on going to say genre when I want to say drama. They kind of sound the same a little bit, but it just, I don't like that. It bugs me a little bit. I understand why it happens. It's just a little like pet peeve of mine that I'm kind of like, eye roll.
Mm-hmm. Usually I DNF books when I'm just bored with them. And usually like I don't permanently DNF a lot of books. I'm just like, I'm not interested right now, so I'll just move on and then I'll forget I'm reading it. So it does become a permanent DNF accidentally. But I agree with miscommunication.
Yeah.
And it's usually just in romance.
It is.
It's usually an adult romance too. Well, romance as well.
It's just
no one talks to each other. No one talks to each other.
I'm like, this all could be solved if you just opened your mouth and closed your legs, okay? That's all I'm gonna say. We could just have a moment of talking, and then you can go back to what you were doing, have great, happy times. But like, just talk first, please.
Oh, DNF means do not
Did
finish.
Not finish.
Did not
Yes.
finish. Do not finish. Not finished. Yeah.
Either way.
I was saying this earlier to Hailey as well. That I don't like contemporary written in third person, and I tend to not like fantasy written in first person, which is very strange to me. Like sometimes there are always exceptions to the rules for everything we're talking about here today. There's always exceptions, but I feel like with contemporary, most of it is being connected to the main character and really getting inside their head because there's not a lot of outside threats. It's a lot of like inner turmoil and relationships and stuff like that. So when you're an outsider looking at two people with a relationship, it's just like, I don't care as much. But with fantasy, I feel like first person doesn't work as well, especially when there's a magic system, because a lot of the time the main character will be somebody new to magic or new to the situation, and then they're going to write about everything as if they know exactly what the terms are. And sometimes them not knowing anything is also really frustrating because they're like, what is that over there? And they have to have every little thing explained to them. I think maybe because I grew up with Harry Potter and I really like third person limited, maybe that's what shaped what I perceive fantasy to be like.
Yeah.
Because he didn't know a lot of things going in, and then he had things explained, but it wasn't explaining every single thing.
Yeah. I don't know. I find my favorite perspectives are either third person limited or first person, because I love to have that personal connection with the characters that you get a lot with first person. But I do agree. I feel like with fantasy, third person limited works best in my opinion. And I really enjoy it. I don't like when a perspective like isn't utilized to its full potential though, you know, like a first person perspective book where you still feel like you don't know the character at all. That's very obnoxious.
So I like seeing, people are talking about second person as well. I feel like the limited number of times I've seen second person, it has worked.
Yeah. Second person, like, they don't do second person because it's not sustainable. That's why you won't have like a full book that's in second person. Because doesn't the Night Circus have second person?
Yes, a little bit. But You by Caroline Kepnes.
Oh, I've never read that.
Oh, I haven't read all of it either.
Person?
Yeah, because it's like a stalker talking to the person he's stalking, and it's like, you did this, you did that. So,
Oh.
I mean, it's a little bit different because it's from his point of view talking to you. And same with The Perks of Being a Wallflower, he's talking to the reader. So that's a little bit different. I'm not sure if that would technically be second person. Now I don't know what second person means.
Second person is like, you do this, you do that.
Yeah.
So second person present doesn't work.
Yes.
Second person past could possibly go a little bit longer. Someone was asking what third person limited is. So third person limited is where it's not like an omniscient narrator where they know everything about everyone. It's third person, but only one person that they have the perspective and thoughts of. So it's not every character that they know the thoughts of.
Harry Potter.
Yeah, I hope that made sense.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to explain perspective. Googling it is obviously your best bet.
So what would you call them talking to the reader? Like, it's not, I know it's not second person, but it's so confused. I don't know.
It's like the narrator interjecting is what it is.
It's so, I don't know anything anymore.
That's something that like Jane Austen does that a lot. Like, is it her who says, "Reader, I married him"? Where's that from?
That was Jane Eyre, right?
Oh, so yeah, I always get Bronte and Austen
How
mixed up.
dare you?
Because in Northanger Abbey, she does it. And that's really just the narrator. That's a third person narrator who's interjecting. And yeah, I just was about to say that because I just read it.
Oh, you just read it? Oh, someone said it? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's what it is. So it's not really like a perspective thing.
Yeah.
Okay, it's Jane Eyre. My bad. Same-ish.
We know what we're talking about, obviously.
Yeah. Falling apart without Hannah.
Honestly, goodness. Okay. You know, another pet peeve I have is when people, it's just all about describing appearances in books is such a tricky thing, especially describing the main character's appearance. I always like to see how the author goes about that. Like, will they do the thing that really annoys me and have the narrator go up to the mirror and be like, oh yeah, I look in the mirror, I look at my short stature at 5'2", and I weigh exactly this, and my hair color is exactly this shade. It is mahogany. It's not brown. It is mahogany, and my sapphire eyes. It's always a gemstone. Why is it always a gemstone?
Always.
I don't know. Except for just brown eyes. By the way, nobody ever has brown eyes in YA literature. Nobody. Except Bella Swan, the only person ever. It's just, can you not find a more creative way than having... Yeah. I like to, when I wake up in the morning, go to the mirror and look at every single piece of my body and describe it to myself, because sometimes I just forget what I look like during the day.
This frizzy hair. Look at this.
Shut up!
I'm talking about myself.
No. I'm very touched.
Amazing. No, I'm interesting as a reader. I feel like, because not like I'm interesting. That sounded really like I'm so interesting. What I mean is, I don't really pay that much attention to what the author describes the characters to look like. Mm-hmm. I picture them however I picture them. I don't know why. I just never really paid that much attention to descriptions that the author gives. So like, I feel like that's not a pet peeve of mine. I will say my pet peeve is when they like won't say skin color and then they're like, oh, but they're this, and it's in a way where they're like avoiding the representation that is totally necessary in order to be like, I'm being inclusive, you know?
Yeah.
I feel like it's necessary because that representation is so important to blatantly say it.
Mm-hmm. Or like that part, Sarah J. Maas thing where like after the fact they'll be like, this character.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah. Like the after the fact thing. Yeah. That, like, it's just so lazy.
Mm-hmm.
So that annoys me.
I think the best way is, like, what is the best way to describe the main character? I think just like, I a lot of times I enjoy when they're like, I look at my dad, we look similar.
Yeah, like
I feel like it's more organic.
Yeah, seeing similarities in other people, and I think describing in terms of comparison to other people who they're really close to or related to, I enjoy that. But it's a tricky one, you know, because you want to get that description in the reader's head pretty instantly, but it's hard to do it in a way where you're not like they're looking in a mirror. So it is a hard thing to do, but I do like the like comparing and contrasting to other characters.
It's not obvious when it's done well, it's obvious when it's done poorly.
Exactly, yeah. And I agree.
Another thing is for description is when they compare them to famous people. Because the minute you put down like, oh, he looks like Taylor Lautner or something like that, you will automatically date that book as being popular when Taylor Lautner was famous. And also, what if somebody reads your book in like 40 years and they'd be like, Taylor Lautner is like a 60-year-old man. Like he's not like young and athletic and all of that. So it automatically dates it. And also a lot of times I don't know the actor they're talking about, so I have to look them up.
Yeah.
And that obviously takes me out of the story.
That's why it's helpful when I literally just take creative liberties and I'm like, oh. Just
yeah, if you want to describe your character as looking like a famous person, just describe the famous person. Being like, oh, he had a werewolf-like body. Right there. There you go.
Nailed it.
Yeah. But I think it was it Crazy Rich Asians, or it might have been the sequel, or maybe it wasn't even that book at all, but they had them no. Was it Josh and Hazel's Guide to Not Dating? I don't know, but they describe them as looking like a famous K-drama actor.
That's the Kiss Quotient.
The Kiss Quotient?
The Kiss Quotient.
I don't know any books anymore.
I don't know if I don't think it was in Josh and Hazel at all, but definitely in the Kiss Quotient. They describe him as looking like a famous K-drama.
And you have to look them up.
I did not look them up. I looked them up in my head. I don't care that much. I'm gonna make it up in my head.
No, if you give me that little nugget of information, I need to look it up.
Yeah, you're just like, oh, gotta know now.
So a lot of people would like us to talk about relationship pet peeves in books. Where would you like to start?
I can't think of any other than the lack of communication. I guess like insta love will annoy me if it's not done well. You know, obviously there's certain instances like you have to have a certain suspension of disbelief when you're going into books where they're going to have insta love and stuff, because obviously I'm not going to meet someone down the street, have this meet cute moment where we're going to fall in love and just be together forever. It's not going to happen. I keep waiting for it to happen. It's not going to happen, girl.
Never give up.
Keep on just sitting in my room waiting for suitors to show up, bearing gifts at my door, lining up. No, it's not going to happen, okay? I lost my train of thought. But I think that if insta love is done well, it doesn't bug me. Definitely don't like triangles, which we've talked about, and no one really likes love triangles.
It can be done very well.
People, there are some instances, but for the most part, it is blah. But as Jennifer Barron says here, stop romanticizing abusive love interests.
Amen.
That is definitely a pet peeve.
I think that insta love, I don't like, but like I like insta like automatic attraction, and then they like spend a whole day together and something like that, but they don't say I love you. Like they can be like obsessed with each other for the day.
Yeah.
But the minute they say I love you, nah.
Yeah.
Like I will take it up until then. Like they can only have eyes for each other after this 15 minutes of knowing each other.
Yeah.
But because that's attraction, that's not love.
No. It's infatuation.
But with the abusive love interests, I hate possessive love interests who think that they are the protector. I know that is somebody's, like, that's a lot of people, they really enjoy those types of stories, but I don't. Like, when they grab the main character really roughly and, like, turn him around, that happens in so many books, and if somebody did that to me, no, I am leaving. How dare you?
Yeah. I feel like you learn so much from books and really any media, but you learn how you should be treated, and that's just sending such a terrible message. Like, ugh. I just, no. I'm not a fan. There's a difference between like hate to love and just like being like straight up abusive and terrible.
Yeah.
Like there's a big difference there.
It's usually because with like hate to love, it's like a mutual hatred and they like fight back on both sides, and that's a little bit more attractive, I guess, because they usually stand up for themselves. But with like possessiveness, a lot of the time it's usually like the female main character, they will make excuses for it and they'll be like, oh, like he turns me around roughly because he's so passionate about our love and he's the big strong man, he's gonna protect me when I faint 20 times in this book. They always faint. I don't get it.
That's literally just the Victorian convention.
Yeah.
Swooning ladies.
Nobody's like wearing corsets nowadays. I don't know why everyone's fainting.
Oh no.
But okay. Or like when again with this, that the love interest will usually lash out, but again it's because he's very passionate, and then he'll be like, oh, I'm so, like he won't even say I'm sorry. She'll be like, oh, it's okay, he was just like, you don't want to get him riled up because he's a man and men are so angry all the time.
Yeah.
No.
Bottom line, nope.
Okay, so we talked about this because we both read The Hating Game and we were talking about hate to love. I feel like The Hating Game was not a very good hate to love. Like it was entertaining, but it was the fact that why did they hate each other? There was not like it was not mutual hatred. The main character just hated him. Because
also, like there's literally that one scene, and this isn't a spoiler, but where she's like you've made it, basically she's like, you've made it impossible for me to feel confident or anything. And I'm like, I'm sorry, what? He was like, what is happening here? Like I struggled with that book because of that, and because there was no substance or really reasoning for the hatred.
Yeah, I mean, I really enjoyed reading it because it was
fun.
I
didn't hate it at all. I had an enjoyable time reading it, but there were some times where I was like,
excuse me.
What? It just wasn't adding up, and I'm not very good at math, but I still don't think that it was like 2 + 2 = 4. I think it was like 2 + 2 = 6. This was not working. I was like, I just don't get it.
One of the reasons why I liked that book is because it was a romance that had more drama than just romantic drama, and like the motivation behind it was they were working at the same company and they were both after the same promotion. And I've read so many romances where it's just a romance, like Josh and Hazel's Guide to Not Dating. I really enjoyed that, but all of the drama was just romantic drama. Like they didn't have lives outside of each other.
No.
The main character had a lot of pets, but like she was barely with her pets. So
terrible.
I just want more.
That kind of brings me to another pet peeve, though, because that book had this kind of plot twist that there was zero foreshadowing for, nowhere, and it was just like drama unnecessarily added. So I cannot stand when there's no foreshadowing and there's like an unnecessary melodramatic plot twist that's brought in. And that was why like I couldn't give Josh and Hazel a 5 out of 5 stars, because I was totally fine with it just being romance. I was like, whatever, this is fun. Like I love the characters so much. But I was like, you need to like at least maybe hint a little bit.
Easter eggs, little like bits.
So I can be like, oh, okay, that's not like, this isn't a random character that's coming out of nowhere, you know? So I don't know.
And back to possessiveness. Something that I have noticed, and I think it's been popular since Prisoner of Azkaban, is the fact that usually the main like woman character, she will like slap men to show that she's like sassy. And I don't like that. I don't like that at all. I have problems with like how a lot of authors create strong female characters is they'll make them sassy and they'll make them rude, and all of their strength will come as like being aggressive instead of one of the reasons that I really enjoy. I mean, I haven't finished the Dark Artifices. That's the word. I haven't finished that series, but one of the reasons why I really enjoyed Christina in that series is because all of her strength was like from a place of love. Like she was just very secure in herself and would support other people. But with like and I mean, also in that series, we have Emma, who's very aggressive and very sassy. And I feel like a way we're making women strong is by making them more stereotypically masculine and by like asserting their dominance and slapping people when they say something, or like if you see like the man like grab her and spin her around, she'll be like, "Oh, how dare you," and then slap him, and then it's fine when she does it. Why is everybody slapping everybody?
I don't know.
And everybody's like, "Ah, yes, Hermione punched Draco in the face. Yes, it's entertaining to watch. I'll give you that."
That's what everyone's talking about in the chat.
Oh, really? Yep, there you go.
Yeah, Hermione and Draco.
But like, why are we punching and slap? I don't know.
Violence.
Why the violence? Can we just be friends, everybody? Just, you know, what I would love if, yes, I love it. Oh, yeah. I would love a nice, like, zinger. A nice, like, put down. That is so much more satisfying than a slap. Because a slap, there's no thought in that. You just slap. But if you have the perfectly constructed, just a zinger. Give us more zingers. There you go. That's my hashtag. Oh, hello, Sadie. I feel like she'd have some nice singers.
I think she would have some nice singers. True.
Something that I, again, with like the whole femininity or like whatever, I love when something that I dislike, since we're talking about pet peeves, is the girl on girl hate that's in so many, especially contemporary books. I feel like we're getting better with time.
Definitely, yeah.
But usually it's two girls who were like rivals for some reason. Some of the time it's like we used to be friends, but then she grew boobs and now she's popular and now we hate her
anymore
because of her boobs. And then she's like super feminine and super like, they make her really materialistic and like always look like she wears makeup. Oh my gosh. She wears short skirts. I wear sneakers. That whole thing. And why can't strong main characters wear makeup or like the color pink?
Well, it's like that I feel like pairs with the I'm not like other girls. It's so dead and needs to stop, because like I feel like as much as you're trying to bring a girl up, you're also doing the same by bringing other girls down, and it's just such it's such an eye roll thing. Like, it's so unnecessary to have this, like, I'm not saying that girls can't fight with each other, but like the catty, like there's so many
reason behind it instead of just like she's a bully because she's popular.
Like there's so many times that happens. Like I just want to see some great female friendships, because like there's so many things that are pushing girls to be mean to each other and tear each other down. So like, I'm just over it.
Yeah.
Like completely over it.
Well, this is something similar to that in that vein, is when the main character is loved by everybody except the villain. This is amongst all genres. Is they will have basically equal friendships with every person in their team, and then they will only hate the villain. Why is everybody obsessed with these main characters? I think it'd be interesting if they had like they just weren't friends with one of the people. Like they're like coworkers, you know? They're going to take down the monarchy together, but they're not gonna like go out for coffee afterwards.
Yeah. Yeah. They're just acquaintances, coworkers.
Yeah.
She's just being so much right now. I'm so sorry. She was eating a plant, so I had to distract her by getting her to play with mascara.
Oh, I like this from Danielle Vanderstock. I want to see more value placed on platonic love and not just romantic love. I definitely agree.
Yeah.
So much.
That in like familial love.
Yeah, yeah.
I love family representation and like siblings and everything. She's literally like her face right now. I'm so sorry. But yeah, like families and like friendships, like I love that stuff. And it's so nice to see that representation because friendships are something that's like really hard to navigate. And it's something that's just as hard to navigate as like a romantic relationship is. So I think that that is so constructive to have in books that are like marketed toward high school students. Like Radio Silence is one that comes to mind.
I was going to say that too.
That's a great one. And I love those things. Like someone said more platonic female and male love, not friends to lovers. I love the friends to lovers trope, but
same.
Absolutely. I think that like female male relationships that are platonic would be awesome to see more.
Mm-hmm.
Just like romance doesn't have to be the central focus of everything.
Definitely. And I definitely agree that we need more in YA because we have so many in middle grade and obviously children's books, but then automatically when we all grow boobs, we can't be friends with anybody anymore. It's blame the boobs, everybody. Blame the boobs.
Honestly. We ruin everything.
Okay, so we have already talked for a while. But I think one thing that I've noticed lately is that a lot of in fantasy, they're changing a lot of people's names. Like I know it just happened in I don't know if that's a spoiler because I know about it, but like I don't really. Well, in Shatter Me by Tahara Mafi, somebody has. I mean, this has happened multiple times in Shatter Me. Is that names have changed throughout the series, so you learn someone's name and then you have to like completely change your whole idea of them. And this happened with Jace in The Mortal Instruments. Is he had his name changed like 27 times, and Throne of Glass, Selena.
Yeah.
Why?
I hate that because like as a booktuber, I don't know what name to say because I don't because that's a spoiler, but then people are like, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, hey, I know, but also if I didn't know, you're spoiling me and that's rude. Name changes annoy me. They just make everything so complicated.
Oh my gosh. We have a lot of questions from Twitter. So here's one from Amy Butcher. What are your audiobook pet peeves?
Droning narrators that make me bored. The Gilded Wolves comes to mind. And then when the character or the narrator doesn't change their voice enough, so I can't tell who is speaking.
Mm-hmm. That happens. So I think nowadays, like we talked about how a lot of things are improving as books are getting more popular. Nowadays, audiobooks, narrators are great. But if you, well, not the Gilded Wolves, that just came out. Just kidding.
That's the exception.
But you go back to like the Twilight audiobook or something like that from 2005 and it's completely like droning and it's just the same voice the entire way through. And how did they get away with that? You don't know who's talking.
Yeah.
My goodness.
It just makes it so difficult to listen to.
Definitely.
It's so droning.
Here's one from Rachel Marie. What is a popular bookish pet peeve that you don't have? I know we talked about a few already, but do you have any other ones?
I don't know. Do you have any?
I think mine would be like annotating in books because as I've gotten older and as I've cared less about the condition of my books, I am completely just like underlining my favorite quotes and just like, I don't care if they get bent or something. It just shows that I read them. So that's good. It's kind of like, I like talking about it as like, they're my Horcruxes. Like I put a little bit of myself into them every time I read them. Yeah. Have you thought of another one?
No, I don't really think I have any. Like, other than, like, the movie cover thing doesn't really bug me. And people, like, well, I guess more so me messing up my books or books that get messed up. That doesn't really bug me as much. So I don't really think I have any.
Yeah, so, I mean, you're mainstream. No one's upset at you.
Oh, mainstream.
Here's one from Sophie from Sophisticated Books. What is one of your BookTube pet peeves? Only one, Hailey. Don't go off.
Oh my god. I think this is one that I totally caught myself doing. And it's something that more recently I've really been conscious of not doing. But it would be like during wrap-ups, I would never explain what the book was about.
Oh, I do the opposite. I like spoil the whole book basically when I describe books.
No, I would just say, like, yeah, no, I would not explain what the book was about. I would just give my thoughts. And I didn't realize until recently that I was doing that, just because, like, you get so used to doing it, you know, and you just you just talk. So I don't plan it out or anything beforehand. So I just would forget to say what the book was about. And that is annoying to me. Like, and it's totally something that I call myself out on. But I've been doing better with it now. I feel like. So now my wrap is with ages long.
This is something that I didn't do either, that I'm now doing, but like not including a list of the books talked about in wrap-ups, because I like to go back and watch people's wrap-ups about like certain books, especially like I like to look back at my own wrap-ups and I like to think like, what did I think about this book when I read it in like 2015? And then I can't find it because I have to go through every single wrap-up to find that one book. But I've been putting timestamps in all of my videos now. One, because it makes me feel happy. Then I can go back and look. But I think it's just so much more organized. Yeah. I love the organization. Also, I don't like music in videos. In BookTube videos.
All the time.
Yeah.
And, you know, like, I go back and I'm like,
I like when we like feel like I'm talking to the person.
Yeah. A lot of people are saying that disclaimer. I just like to say,
you want a disclaimer on this?
Well, it's very different when you're the one making the video and you're the one who's going to be getting the hate comments. So if I can do something to at least deter one person from leaving a hate comment that is going to ruin my day, then I will give a disclaimer and you can skip through it. Like, if you're on the other side of it, it's very different. I understand it's kind of annoying to listen to, but just skip through it.
Yeah, it's just a safety net, I guess.
Yeah, like, you know, because people absolutely will get offended either way. But, you know, I like to at least try and deter one person from being rude to me.
That'll never stop me. I have your private number. I can just send the hate comment to you.
I love it.
So what I want to do with our remaining time is I really would like to do Would You Rather Bookish Pet Peeve Edition. So I asked some people on Twitter if they could send some Would You Rathers, and we're going to go through them. So definitely play along with us. I will say them aloud so we can all play together. And yeah. So the first one is actually one that I made, because I can also make things, so this is good. Okay. Would you rather have a book have a stiff paperback or a hardcover with deckled edges?
Hardcover.
So, you know what? Really?
Yeah, I hate stiff paperbacks. It makes me want to die.
Deckled edges literally makes me want to die. Like, it's so hard. One, yeah. I don't like hardcovers to begin with because I read in the bath and I hold it like this and it digs into my palms and it's very uncomfortable.
Your dainty hands.
It's not like your baby hands, yeah. I mean, they're approximately the same size, so it's all good.
I should have bought them, but I don't have them, or else this would be the perfect opportunity to them. No, I would definitely do a hardcover.
Oh, yeah, so, you know, like the Raven Cycle books, those are all very stiff paperbacks.
They're so horrible. I literally exchanged it for the hardcover because I couldn't do it.
Yeah, you have to break it. You have
to. Even the paper that they used is like plasticky paper. It's so horrible.
Is it not like that with the hardcover?
No. Not that I
Weird.
can remember. I haven't read it in a long time, but no.
Oh, we have a lot of people are saying hardcover. Well, I would pick paperback and I would break that spine.
Paperback is so horrible.
I'd break the spine. All the ones in the Raven Cycle, they're all broken. I don't care anymore.
No.
Okay, so would you rather have a book with insta-love or a very slow-paced book?
Insta-love. I get bored so easily.
Yeah, that's why you didn't like The Night Circus.
Yeah, that's exactly it. I need something that's fast-paced and is going to keep me interested. Is that Rascal at your door?
It is. He always wants to come in. Okay, I'd pick a slow-paced book. I like slow-paced books, so we're all good.
Disagree.
I know all of them were disagreeing so far. Okay.
I know, it's really funny.
Would you rather have someone borrow your book and break the spine and dog-ear it, or write notes all in the margins?
They do either or?
Break the spine and dog-ear it, or write all in the margins.
I'd rather them write in the margins because I want to read what they wrote.
Same! Oh my gosh, we agree on something. Wow! What are people saying? Oh, they haven't. I forgot we're delayed a little bit. So
I know.
Okay, so the last one that I wrote myself. Would you rather have a predictable ending or be spoiled for an amazing ending?
I think predictable ending.
Really?
I don't know.
I would pick being spoiled for an amazing ending because I feel like I would still enjoy it more.
I don't think I would though, because I would see it coming. So I'd just be kind of expecting it the entire time. So I'd rather have like a solid ending where I'd be like, that was like solid. It wasn't anything like wow, but it was solid.
But you can predict it either way. You can predict it with the predictable ending, or you'll just know the ending for the great one.
But knowing the ending, like predicting it is different because predicting it, I have the expectation, but I could be surprised. But
well, everyone agrees with you. Everybody says predictable.
Yeah, if I'm not surprised, I wouldn't be like, oh, that was a bad book now because I predicted it all. You know, I think it also definitely like depends on the book.
Yeah, I would enjoy the journey towards the spoiled ending. Yeah. So,
but I don't know.
I mean, it's fine. You picked. It's all good. I'm not judging anymore.
I'm kind of 50-50.
Here's one from Lindsay at The Page Mistress. Would you rather have somebody interrupt your reading every 20 minutes or the ink on every 10th word faded so you had to assume what it was?
That's so creative.
I know. I want to get interrupted.
I don't think so.
I think like
I would want to try and like have to fill in the word.
It's like he was blank. You don't know if it's he was dead.
I can read. It's like choose your own adventure.
Yeah, it really is.
I can do that. That's so fun.
It's Mad Libs. It's honestly Mad Libs.
Yes.
No, I would get interrupted. I don't care anymore.
No, I think I would be ink faded because I would want to know. Yeah. Also, that's less human interaction, so that's always good.
Of course. Okay. Okay, so would you rather, from Amy Butcher, would you rather read a book where half the dialogue is unassigned to characters, you just have to guess who's talking, or read a book with a spelling error on every page?
I can have a spelling error on every page.
Wait,
I don't want to guess who's talking.
Yeah, no, same. I would.
Oh, what a nightmare! I would not be able to read that.
No, sometimes when like I'm reading books, I have to backtrack and try to understand.
Yeah. And like imagine how much more confusing that would make it. Definitely a spelling error.
Yeah, I would stop reading it. I wouldn't stop reading it for a spelling error. I'd just be like, they're wrong, but whatever.
I'd be like, wow, this needs a new editor.
Okay. Ooh, this one from Sophie at Sophisticated Books. Would you rather delete your channel or unhaul your entire book collection, including your 90,000 Alice in Wonderland books?
I feel like this depends on the day. Honestly, it depends on the day. Like 100%. What would you do?
I would unhaul my entire collection. I just go to the library.
I think most times I would unhaul my collection. but it's also one of the few things that brings me joy. I mean, my channel also brings me joy.
Yeah, I was about to say, are you just gonna drop that little nugget on everybody? Sometimes I think that I want to delete all of the videos on my channel and start from scratch, but that depends on the day as well. But I wouldn't want to delete my channel.
Yeah, I don't know.
Wow. You just ditched 200,000 people for your books. That's what she really thinks about you. Oh. Okay. Here is one from from Jake K at Jake Does Books. Would you rather buy a used book with a page ripped out or no dust jacket?
A page ripped out.
I would buy it without a dust jacket.
No, it would be so ugly. I cannot.
I love books. I mean, this is not related, but I love books that don't need a dust jacket. That are just hardcover and like kind of like plushy a little bit too. Like they just why don't we have more of those? They're probably more expensive, but still.
Yeah, probably.
We need more of these.
Yeah. So many people are saying no dust jacket. That's shocking to me.
Yeah, same here, buddy.
The dust jacket is so important, but I also am such an aesthetic person.
Yeah, you don't care about the story. You just care about what it looks like on your shelf.
Well, because I can go to the bookstore and look at a copy and find that missing page.
You could also like print out the dust jacket on like printer paper and just like
that's real cute.
Mayfia says no dust jacket. You can paint it.
Oh, I'm not that artistic.
I would just like I just print it out on printer paper and just wrap it around. It would look so bad, but it would be my own. It would definitely be my book. No one would take it.
So yeah. Yeah, you don't have to worry about that.
Okay. This one from Amanda B. Books. Would you rather be able to only read ebooks or mass market paperbacks?
Ebooks. Yeah, I hate mass market paperbacks so much.
Also, like if you have the Kindle app on your phone, you can just read it anywhere. And I feel like I read faster with ebooks because I'm not going back to refer to earlier pages. I'm just reading the story. So it gets me more, it like keeps me like blinders, like on a horse, on a racing horse. Yeah. That's what it's like.
I also find it's helpful, like it won't always show like the percentage, my e-reader at least just shows the percentage of the way through that I am. So I find it helpful that it doesn't show me the page number, or else I get so hyper-focused on the page number. Same. The percentage doesn't bug me as much. So it is kind of nice to read an ebook because of that.
Definitely. Also, you can change like the font. I know the Kindle app now has the dyslexic friendly font, and I don't have dyslexia, but like it really helps me to read as well. Maybe I have like mild dyslexia. I don't know, but I think it's easier. So all of the different letters are very different one another. So you can't like flip it or however dyslexia works. It's harder for it to get
jumbled. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's really helpful. Okay, and then our last one from Catherine at Catherine reads, would you rather rip out the first page of your favorite book or the last page? I would rip out the first page. No, the last page, because it is a truth universally acknowledged, like iconic start right there. I don't even know how Pride and Prejudice ends, so I know how it begins. So I cannot.
Yeah, I think I would rip out the last page. Rather.
Oh, we got a lot of first pages. Ooh, you guys are really controversial. Very divided on all of these questions. I like it.
Amazing.
Okay, so now, and that's it. There we go.
We're right on time. Look at that.
I know. We didn't need Hannah. No, I'm kidding. We should talk about our BookTuber of the week. Our BookTuber of the week, I have listed her channel down below if you want to check her out. Her name is Madeline at Novel Inc. She is also a blogger. I think her blog is also called Novel Inc. And she's just such a bubbly personality. She reads from a variety of different genres and age ranges. So I think you can find any recommendations from her, no matter what genre you also read. And just a lot of fun, really relaxing and friendly. So definitely check her out if you would like a new BookTuber to watch. So do we have, it's on your channel next week, right?
Yeah, I don't know what we're doing. We'll figure it out.
Okay, we're very prepared. Also, remember that our April book of the month for Bookmarked Book Club is Scythe by Neal Shusterman. I have it right here. Ooh, look at me. I'm prepared. Scythe by
Amazing.
Neal Shusterman. We are going to have our live show on Hailey's channel at the end of the month. If you want to read alongside us, I have not started yet.
I'm going to read it right before the live show, so it will be
Fresh
in my brain.
And we have a Goodreads group if you want to talk about the book or anything else relating to books and stuff on there. That is also down below. So thanks for watching, listening to us complain for an hour. I feel much happier. You know, less frustrated. We should do this every week.
Honestly.
Just have a therapy session every week.
I love it.
And thanks to Sadie for being our guest this week. Thanks, Sadie.
She is.
Wow. Our new mascot. Forget Jackson. It's Sadie
Excuse
time.
you.
Okay, we're leaving. Should I sign us off with my kazoo?
Oh my.